Okay, so welcome to my presentation. Today I'm going to be presenting my app that I made. For the time being, I named it TAS. And here's kind of the story, well, Xcode calls it storyboard. And it kind of shows the process of how it starts the first screen, how it transitions to either login screen or the sign up screen, which then proceeds to go straight to the home screen if it is successful. Just log in or sign up. So I feel like this is a useful and entertaining app just because I know a lot of people who need something to keep uh, things that they need to do in order. This is basically what this app does. It, basically a to-do list or task manager, and you can put tasks and you can check whether they're completed or not, and just it's very helpful for someone who needs help to keep more organized. uh, yeah, I think it's a fun app to just put a list. Maybe you can use it for groceries or anything that you need to make a list of. uh, Moving on to the code itself. um, in Java, well, the reason I chose to make this app using Xcode and Swift was because I had already experimented with Xcode and Swift before, and I felt like I was more comfortable using this to make the app instead of using Java or something else. But yeah, so in Java or in Eclipse, we have different windows that, I mean, they all work for the same main package. And this is what it is here. So this would be the package, and I have uh, each window, well, here they call it view control. It does what it says. It controls a view. So this one would be the login screen. These are just variables, and they're all connected to the buttons on the actual storyboard. So, so this part here, this is just for the keyboard, basically, because sometimes when I first created the login screen, the keyboard would cover up the text fields. So this kind of just helps take care of it. It goes to here, the function touches began, and text field should return. These two functions handle basically how the text fields and keyboard work together. And the set of elements function, this because there's going to be errors, such as here, the error label, it calls the function, and it sets it to 0, which would just make the letters transparent. And once it finds an error, it sets it to 1, so it actually show the error. So, and here's the login function. So here it makes sure that the password and email are clean, and this part right here, it connects to the, because I'm using a database, it's a Google database called Firebase. So this connects to that Firebase database, and it takes in the email, which is here, and the password as well. If there's an error signing in for whatever reason, it would throw this error. A localized description means basically it has like a database of like phrases, and whatever the error is, it will specifically throw the error for that. And if there is no error and it goes to else, it'll perform this. It saves the UID, which is basically like a special number assigned to each account. And then it'll perform the segue, which is moving from the login screen to the home screen. And this part, it kind of prepares it for that. So it kind of just like sets up where it wants it, where it's supposed to go, and it takes a navigation controller which controls um, how it transitions to it. So this is a sign up view controller, and it controls basically the signing up if it's a new user. And same here with this is the same thing as the previous controller with the keyboard, and it makes sure that the keyboard isn't covering the text fields. And the same here, setup elements sets all the error labels to 0, which are transparent. And this part here, it's checking to make sure that the text fields are not empty. And if they are empty, see, it's calling the validate fields function. If it is empty, it's going to print an error. And for this part, this is calling the utilities package, which just basically holds this, and it kind of specifies how long or what the password needs in order to be valid. Kind of like when we make an account and it says it must be this long and include a special character. That's what it is. And here, when you press the sign up button, it will cause a validate to check the fields that they are empty. And if they are, it causes error. But if not, it cleans the text fields, pulls in what the user typed in for their email and password, and if there's no error creating the user, it'll move to the else, in which it saves the UID, which is the random letters and numbers assigned to the account, and this will save the user's first name, last name, email, and password into the database. And this database, well, once again, is for Firebase, and it's referencing a collection that I made called users. And in that collection, it's referencing the UID, which is saving up here. And after it has saved it all, it performs a segue, which moves to the home screen, and it's being prepared down here once again. But if there's an error, it's going to say error saving user data. And moving along to the home screen. Well, before we go to the home screen, this is the first screen. It's just 2 buttons, and it decides whether it goes to the login view controller or the sign up view. And this to-do cell, it kind of controls what you see in the to-do list. Is going to control the check mark image and the UI label it's in. And for this, so this is just a structure. It's just holding the name of the name or the task name, and this is determining whether is checked just means if the task is completed or not. And then here's the array that's going to be holding all the tasks that the user puts in. And once again, this is just assigns the sizes for this for the cell. This is for the user to sign out, just so that if they ever leave their phone or somewhere, they could sign out before. And this part controls a queue for the tasks and allows them to add into the queue. So basically, you see this creating a text box that says new to do, and it adds that to do to the queue. Let's see, it's going to assign it to straight to false because it can't be completed if it's barely being added. And here it's saving that that new addition into the database. Same to users collection, to that specific UID, and to the to-do folder. And this just reloads the data every single time you add so that it shows up on the home screen. And this is just a cancel button if you don't want to add or you press the add button by accident. So this part, it takes care of showing the to-dos or the tasks that the user added. And this part here just kind of sets like the default, it's one cell inside of the table view. And here it just keeps count. So it allows it to grow. So there can be more than one cell. And here it's just going to be taking care of bringing in, because this is a separate picture in a folder I have. So this would just bring in the picture and attach it to the checkmark image, which goes back to the to-do cell. And this is going to be taking care of whether the task is complete or not. It is checked as false, but if it's pushed on, it will change it to true. And this part is going to be taking care of deleting stuff from the queue. So it's going to go into the collections and the to-do, and it's going to remove that from the database. And after that, it's just going to move straight into the, it's just going to move the tasks up, and it's going to delete the top one. And to show this how it runs, we're going to run it. So it might be a little bit buggy, but should be good. These are just for test reasons. As you see, do, well, that's what it should be, do homework. And if you click on it, it puts the check mark. And when you want to add, you just put turn in project add. It should add it to the bottom. And if you want to delete, just slide on it and it deletes it. Yeah, that's basically the main gist of it. And see, this is some things that I would like to add. And once you complete it, it gives you the option whether or not you want to delete it. And when you're done, you can either just log out. And the cancel doesn't seem to be working right now, but normally it would, and you could go to the home screen. Signing up. So we'll just use my name, for example. And test. Password. And there you go. It's a clean slate, basically. And you can just add stuff. That's just it. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed.